Good morning, Purple class, and welcome to another week of learning. This is the date today. Read it with me. It says Monday, the 1st of March. Remember that it was a Year 1 challenge to be able to spell all of the days of the week, so do have a double check that you can spell every day of the week, and it would be great if you could spell all of the months of the year from memory as well. So this is the day, Monday, this is the date, the 1st, and this is the month, March. And all of those words need capital letters because they're proper nouns. So Monday and March both need capital letters. I wonder if you can think of anything special about this date. This date is really special to people who are Welsh, who might be living in other parts of the country or the world, and for people who live in Wales now. It is called St. David's Day. So St. David's Day is a special day celebrated by Welsh people who might be living in Wales or the other countries. These are the countries which make up the United Kingdom. So we've got England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. This is Wales. And St. David's Day is an important day for anyone from Wales, which is here. The capital city of Wales is Cardiff, and it's our neighbouring country. That means it's next to us. And if you were to drive from Blackwell to Wales, it would probably take you just over an hour in the car. This is the flag for Wales, so it's got that Welsh dragon on. To start with, I've got a reasoning activity for you, and I've got some symbols. I would like you to think about which is the odd one out and why. I wonder if you've thought the same thing as I have. I've come to the conclusion that the odd one out is this picture here. I wonder if you can work out why I think that. I think this picture is the odd one out because it is a landmark in England, whereas all of the rest have an association to Wales. These are Welsh cakes, which is a traditional Welsh cake. This is a Welsh dragon, which we just saw on the flag. This is the national flower of Wales, and I have this in my pocket made from one of you. I wonder if you know what it's called. It's called a daffodil. These are costumes which girls and boys might like to wear on St. David's Day, which is today. So if you look at the news today, there might be some children dressing up in these national costumes. And this one is a feature in geography, which is a mountain which is in Wales, and it's called Snowdon, Mount Snowdon. So the only one which isn't in Wales or has anything to do with Wales is this one, which is Big Ben, which is in the capital city of England, which is London. So that's the one I thought was the odd one out. You might think it's a different one, and as long as you have a reason why, that is great reasoning too. Today, I would like you to read this poem with me. So this poem is called St. David's Day. The reason I've chosen it is because I've made a text-to-text connection. Our story we're reading at the moment is called The Garden, and in this story the author talks about flowers, and I thought the daffodil. The daffodil is the national flower of Wales, which lots of people will wear today on St. David's Day. So I'm going to share with you a poem, because it's always great to read different genres. So this genre is a story, but this genre is a poem. Let's read it. The title is St. David's Day, with an apostrophe there for possession because the day belongs to St. David. St. David's Day. A land of rugged mountains, a land of finest slate. The sound of rushing rivers gives us cause to celebrate. A land of ancient forests, green valleys, grazing sheep, gives the people of St. David a land they wish to keep. Follow the red dragon flag in parades led by Welsh bands. Raise voices in the choirs to salute this lovely land. For here in Wales or far away, the Welsh remember still, and on St. David's Day with pride wear leek or daffodil. And the author of that poem is a lady called Brenda Williams. What I'd like you to do is read that poem for yourself, and you can underline it or point or highlight all of the things that tell you something about Wales. What is it like there? So I'm first of all looking at these words like mountains and slate and rushing rivers. And I'd like you to illustrate the poem. So draw lots of little pictures that show you what that poem is talking about. You can even make it like a scene or a postcard. So that is your first challenge. How many of those features can you illustrate? Your next challenge is to think about, what do you know about Wales? Have you ever been there? Have you got any family that live there? So I tried to make a text-to-world connection and a text-to-self connection. And when I think of Wales, I think of this photograph, which is what we just saw, and it's Mount Snowdon in Snowdonia. And this picture always makes me smile, and I've written the reason why. So I would like you to write maybe between 3 and 5 sentences about what you know about Wales and what it means to you. So I've had a go. I have 3 Welsh grandparents and lots of my family live in Wales. So I've started with a capital letter, I've got a conjunction and to add more detail to my sentence by joining clauses together, and I've finished with a full stop. Every proper name needs a capital, proper noun, needs a capital letter like Wales, so that always needs a capital. New sentence. Every year I go to Snowdonia, so that's the place I go, so that also needs a capital letter. I even climbed to the top of Mount Snowdon on a very hot day in 2019. I hope that I can go again this year. And I do. I really hope I can get to the top of that mountain. But I've just written a few sentences to explain what is special about Wales to me. The next person you're going to see is Miss Coyle, who we know is from Wales, and she's going to give you a special message and tell you what St David's Day means to her. Bye for now.
Bore da, dosbarth Piws. Good morning, pupil class. As you know, I'm from Wales, and St David's Day is a big celebration in Wales and for Welsh people. On St David's Day at home, we would celebrate the tradition by eating a lot of cowl. And this picture here is showing you what cowl is, and it's very delicious. We tend to have it with bread and cheese, and it's a traditional Welsh soup or broth. We also dress in our Welsh lady or Welsh boy costumes. And in Wales, it's tradition for girls to pin daffodils to the Welsh costumes and for boys to pin leek. At school, we would perform a traditional Welsh dance called Dawnsio Gwerin, and we would perform these live for an audience in what you would call an Eisteddfod. Fun fact, St David's Day is also my mother's birthday. So happy birthday, Mum, Penblwydd hapus. And that's St David's Day for me, as a Welsh person. See you soon, people. Ta-da!